Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the saltiest place in whole New Eden. Why is it the saltiest place? I have no idea, but it is what it is. Actually, for quite a while, I have been thinking about doing a salt series, basically a video series where I show you all the salty messages that I have been receiving on Discord and in-game. And I think perhaps, next week I might start with that. I'm not really sure, haven't really decided on anything, but there's just so much gold and so much salt that I think will make everyone's day. But yeah, that's just one of the new series that I plan on doing. Now, last time I think I forgot to do one important thing with the relation. I did show you the build, but I forgot to show you the active stats on this ship, which of course I believe is very important, because one thing to show the passive, basically the cold stats of the ship, and a whole different thing to show you the active stats. And since this ship is one of the tankiest relations in the game, I think it's just my duty to show you the resistance on this thing. Now lately I have been also using the high angle weapons because my alt is alpha, and since my alt can't really afford omega right now, I mostly use the stabber or the daredevil without the necessary skills, and because of that I have to use the high angle turrets in order to hit the smaller targets more efficiently. When my alt goes back to omega, I will swap back to the main turrets, because with omega I can just use the daredevil and slow everything down without a problem. So 6.5 million hit points when the modules are active, 90, 91, 89 and 89%. Pretty stable, pretty balanced. And this is without the yellow hardener kicking in. With the yellow hardener kicking in, that goes up to 98, 95%, which is basically the stats that are mostly active. And with the damage control, 19 million hit points, 97, 97, 96 and 96%. I have been also improving the new skills, and now I'm actually I have a lot more armor, and I think eventually I will have about 750,000 armor, so I'm quite satisfied with the Revelations performance. Overall, pretty interesting and a pretty tanky little boat. The Chamosh will be the worthy successor of this ship. So, in a moment, I will jump in combat in a second. Today I have a lot of kills to show you. I have a lot of different ships to fly, and overall I'm not really sure when the next capital ships will arrive, but if we get the faction capitals, well, that would be the end of the line for the revelation. Okay, let's go to the first target. We have one prophecy. Now this prophecy did seem to be a little bit different than other prophecies. They seem to have a very interesting nanocore.
Warp drive
when I say
active.
interesting nanocore, not something that you see quite often, and might be a tough opponent. Now I'm very happy to say that I see a lot more players play much smarter in low sec now, especially after I started to give out so many advices on how to fly your ship in low sec, especially around pirates. Now this prophecy is aligned, and well, for some reason they warped out. Now my friend and I are cloaked. We are both in Stratios cruisers, and the prophecy didn't see anyone. Now why did they warp out? Well, there is actually several reasons why they might actually have warped out. They can technically see the warp flash even if you're cloaked, and if they pay close attention, they can actually see that. The other option that my friend suggested is that they run out of range, or perhaps they warp out after a certain amount of time, which again is a pretty good tactic. In low sec you can do that, and
Warp
that
drive
way
active.
you can easily shake off pirates that are trying to attack you. Now I warped out, and the prophecy came back from a different angle. They warped to the sun and then back to about 50 kilometers, but it looks like they have been moving. Now those drones are fairly fast. They are using Valkyries, and Valkyries usually are not that quick, so I think they might have a high level drone bomb implant, or perhaps they have one of the drone speed mods that increase the drone velocity, although that lasts quite a while for the module, so that's almost 100% the drone bomb implant. So in this case I actually prefer to use the Cinnabon, because the damage control and the high shield volume on the Cinnabon easily eats the drone bombs. But since the prophecy is aligned, I just have to go with the Stratius. My friend is also close by. We are both approaching, almost in tackle distance. The prophecy seems to be using a micro warp drive. Based on the speed, I would suggest that they are an armor tank, active armor tank, and based on how they fly the ship, might be a tough battle. We will see. Time to tackle. Approaching to 0, scrambled. My friend decloaked as well, orbiting at 0. And they also use the armored command burst, which is very smart. I like when I see that module on battlecruisers, because that module is extremely useful on the battlecruisers, especially on those that have the balls for it, because that way you can actually improve the armor stats and armor repair quite a bit, and the prophecy has been destroyed. Okay, let me cloak. I wasn't locked by the battleship, so I can safely cloak. And now let's take a look at the kill. Usually I warp out with the Stratius or with any ship, but sometimes I just sit in the mission. 309 million, long range build. Okay, they had an armor tank, armored command burst, and a neon ray nanocore. Okay, that's interesting. A neon ray nanocore. Well, that explains why the prophecy looked expensive. That is one expensive nanocore. Now, a little bit later, the same prophecy came back, and this time I'll be using the Cinnabon. The Cinnabon is built to withstand quite the DPS. I like this ship because it's fast, and it is very much different from the Cinnabon in EVE Online. My friend told me that the Cinnabon in EVE Online isn't that good. Only good for its speed, but everything else is just average. So the Cinnabon in EVE Online isn't really that interesting. But I might actually try that ship out myself. Although currently on EVE Online, I'm actually trying to go. Well, not trying. I have the ESC for it. I just have to go and buy the Ashimo and fly the Ashimo in that game, because the Ashimo in EVE Online is still terrifying. The Ashimo in this game is not what it used to be, and that makes me very, very sad, because I love to fly the Ashimo, one of my best solo ships that I have to date. Basically, never lost a fight with the Ashimo in this game, and I used the same build for like 2-3 years until I sold it. Okay, there is the prophecy. Excellent warping. They were not aligned this time. They have been scrambled. Barrage engaged. Everything is going according to plan. prophecy is now going to... Well, the prophecy is destroyed, that was okay. The barrage implant did its thing. And let's warp out. Well, that was the same prophecy, they returned, well, and active. We returned as well. It was a pretty quick action. Fast ship and just return to the location to engage the ship. Now, where is the station? Where is the station? Well, I'll just align this way then. Okay, micro warp drive on, and now let's keep on burning towards the station. Let me show you the kill. 298 million. This time they had a damage control, okay. And the neon rain core is still there. Well, that's definitely one of the more unique prophecies that we have seen. Okay, now let's do a little solo action. I am in the Macarial, going to engage another Macarial. I like how the Macarial is very popular. It is a lot more popular now than it used to be. The Macarial in Evil 9 is good for pipe bombing, and my friend also told me that it's a good ship for missions. After all, the Macarial is fast, it has some nice DPS, and overall it's a very beautiful ship. My Macarial in this game is, well, obviously used to be a PvE ship a long time ago. Now it's a PvP ship, still the original Macarial that I had from 2019. One of the first faction battleships to be produced in this game, and it's still alive, surprisingly. Okay, webbed, well, not webbed, locked, scrambled, webbed, barrage implant engaged. The other Macarial is a shield tank. I did change my build a little bit, now I have one adaptive and damage control, you know, just in case sometimes that adaptive can save me some armor or hull repairs. Last time the Macarial, well, not actually last time, I forgot when I was flying the ship the last time. It's been a while, but in the last couple times I flew this ship, I did take some damage, and if I had just a different build, I would definitely take a lot less damage, but in any case, the Macarial has been destroyed, and let's warp out. I still do use the Black Ops Macarial, just
under attack.
Rare, not as much as before, mostly because
warp drive active.
There's no need for it. But if I have to go deeper in hostile territory, then I would probably go with a Black Ops Macarial, just so that I can easily wait out the criminal timer in peace, especially with my horrible internet that knows to crash every, I don't know, like 5 minutes or something. And with such internet you have to think in advance on the situation that might happen. And I actually did manage to survive a lot of very dangerous moments with the cloak, especially when the game wants to warp you to the station after you log out. It almost happened twice actually. Not really sure why the game does that, but you know, sometimes it just likes to throw you at the station or at the gate with the criminal timer, and that's really not something that I recommend to happen, because you will lose your ship 100% from the gate guns. Next target. Well, I'm back in the trunk, in the good old Revelation, and the next target is a Rokh. Now, the high angle turrets are good against small targets. They're also good against big ones because you have battleship alpha damage, battleship DPS. It's basically a battleship disguised as a dreadnought, and that's basically how it feels flying the high angle weapons on a dreadnought. But for most ships it should be enough. The battles will definitely take a lot longer, but you get a lot more tracking, and the tracking is important because small targets without my alt using the Daredevil and without being Omega have a higher chance of escaping, so that's why I use the high angle weapons or high angle turrets on the Revelation, and so far they have been doing a very nice work. And well, this Rokh tried to burn to the gate, but that did not work. Now you might be thinking, well, that's just another rock, you know. It's definitely not something expensive, right? It's just a tier 10 battleship. Well, I thought so too until I looked at the kill. 6.5 billion. Now, when you take a look at it, it's nothing special. The build is pretty cheap. However, the Rokh Gurista NCO core, that is a rare one. That's a rare core. I haven't seen much of them around, and I guess the Nano core is valued quite a bit, and that's why the Rokh was so expensive. Well, that was a Cinnabon, and the secondary target seems to be a prophecy. Looked like both of these ships were in a fleet, and both of them got executed at the same gate. Both of them tried to burn away, but that did not work. And don't be scared by the neutral revelation. That's me. My alt is corpless, and I forgot to add my alt in the corp. So yeah, and I have myself as neutral because I always forget the standings. Always forget to adjust that on time. So yeah, that's why it is like that. Well, the prophecy 143 million. I have some frame rate issues, and this was a expensive Cinnabon, 1.9 billion, and they dropped some juicy stuff. Nice. Overall, good kills. Let me return the alt around the mothership. Well, the mothership, not the mothership. Motherships are super carriers around the dreadnought. Okay. Not really sure why my frames went so bad. Oh well, in any case, next target we have a Gila. Now, one good thing that I guess is very nice with the high angle turrets, I don't really have to web everything. They track cruisers easily, so I can just execute the cruisers without using my alt, although sometimes when they try to run I have to use my alt to keep them from running. And that was a very nice kill. My alt is currently in the stabber until my alt gets banned again, of course, because I know the mass report campaign never stops. That's unfortunately how it goes. And this looked like a PvP Gila. Okay, well, that's interesting. A long-range kite PvP Gila with one disruptor. Well, not sure how many ships they can hold with that one disruptor, but in any case, next target we have one Ashimu. The Ashimu took one big hit from the relation. Now the Ashimu took the second big hit. They have been webbed and scrambled, and the Ashimu has been destroyed. And there we go. That's the second or third faction cruiser for today. I like to blow up faction cruisers. It's satisfying. One important fact for the high-angle weapons is the fact that they are a lot more, not rewarding, but a lot more forgiving if you do mistakes. Oh my god, why is this Ashimu so cursed? That was a terrible, terrible, terrible build. Next target we have one Ferox, and well, let's not yeet my friend. Did not intend to lock my friend there. 14,000 the first hit. The high rate of fire also works really well, and does have the Sim Alpha as a battleship, so it works wonders against smaller targets. 197 million. Well, yeah, let's not look at that build. Next target we have another Prophecy. I love to blow up Prophecy. I think someone asked me what ship do I have as most kills? Well, I think it's the Prophecy. I've killed like tens of thousands of those. I think there's just too many Prophecies. One of the more popular ships. I did talk about the same thing 2 years ago. That back then I also was mowing down Prophecies after Prophecies, and the same thing is actually still ongoing to this day. Next we have a Oracle 2 with a very interesting looking skin or nanocore. Not really sure what type of nanocore this is, but I like to inspect the ships that I shoot at. Sometimes, you know, you see some very interesting things, like sometimes the kill marks on the targets are visible, sometimes the kill marks on your friend's ships are visible. And I actually cracked how to see the kill marks of your friend's ship. Basically, log in with your main device and then log in the game on the same account from a different device without shutting down the game on the primary device. That way the game will kick you out of one device, but it will allow you to log in on the other device, and for some reason that allows you to see the kill marks that your friends have on their ships. Not really sure why that happens, but it happens, and that's how I figured out that a way how you can see your friends' kill marks on their ship. Works the same way with any player actually. You can see the kill marks of any ship when you do that. But there are some tricks that I still have to crack open, because it doesn't really work on some ships, and it definitely does involve timing when someone logs in or logs out for some reason. Not really sure how, but the game works in mysterious ways. And this was a Macariel. Looked like a juicy Macariel. That's a lot of very nice stuff in that wreck. Well, looks like I just have to loot what I can, and then I'll have to go and unload. Yeah, I have to unload the Daredevil cargo. And yeah, I have one module that's not working because it requires Omega, but I just didn't really replace it for now. So yeah, it is what it is. Let's keep on. Let's look at the kill. 3.4 billion. This was a sniper Macariel, and they use some very nice drones that can be sold for a good price. Okay, next target, we have a Raven Striker, one of my favorite ships to shoot at. Let's fleet focus fire. This Raven also seems to have a very nice nanocore. Out going for the hero tackle. Ooh, that was nasty. That Raven did not have a very good day at all. 2-3 dreadnoughts shooting at him. Yeah, I definitely don't want to be on the receiving end of this camp. Let's loot what I can loot, and then I can go and dock the loot, or perhaps let's just orbit. My friends will loot. I usually just give the loot to my friends, and the ISK, of course, because that's just what I do. 2.1 billion, a sniper Raven. Next target, a Typhoon, and this Typhoon is also getting executed pretty quickly. Yep, there you go. That was quick. The magic of having capital ships shoot at your battleship. What can go wrong? Well, nothing can go wrong to the capital ships, but a lot of things can go wrong to the battleship. And what is this? A oracle that just popped in. Well, let's go and... Oh, okay. Well, let's go back to the Dreadnought then. That was quick. The oracle and the Typhoon were destroyed. Looks like these two ships were in a fleet. That's interesting. A lot of fleets passing by here lately. Looked like a sniper PvP build. That's interesting. And the Typhoon looked like a PvP build as well. Wonder where these players were going. Next, we had another oracle. Also got blown up pretty quickly. Although I did not get the kill. That smiley dreadnought behind me got the kill. That's a very good looking skin, by the way. Unfortunately, I was too broke to afford one, so I just used the sleeper skin that I have on the Revelation. 608 million. I like this build. That reminds me on one of the builds that I actually used. This build is focused on long-range sniping. Next target we have a Dramiel, webbed by the Daredevil, and the magic of the high angle turrets or weapons, I just can easily hit the Dramiel without worrying. There we go, nice. One shot, one kill. And this is basically one of the main reasons why I got these turrets now. That's why I use them quite often lately. I don't have to worry about missing small targets, even if I don't have the Daredevil webs. I hit everything, so it's not really a big problem. Let's take a look at the kill. 639 million. My eyes play tricks on me, and the Voyage Core. Oh, I love to blow up ships. I love to destroy ships with the Voyage Core. The Voyage Core is one of the dumbest things ever to be added in the game. And the Glacier Core, or whatever it's called, that's also one of the worst cores ever to be added. One of the worst cores balance-wise. And this was a succubus that got destroyed the same way as the Dramiel. At least this succubus did not have
We're under attack.
the stupid analog core that gives you one-click escape. And this is a Vigilant that decided to light up the Revelation. Okay, well, I thought my ult would get set on fire, but nope. The Vigilant went straight for the big chunk. Okay, looted, and let's go back around the big boat. And let's take a look at the kill. Okay, let's... Hold a second. I have a bad... yeah. I knew it, I just knew it. A cursed Vigilant. Yeah, let's not look at that build anymore. Next target, we have another Dramiel. Now, there's a backstory with this Dramiel. They actually managed to... Actually, no, this is not the Dramiel that I was talking about. There is one Dramiel from the same corp that escaped. Was too slow to catch it. And I think they will come back. And when they do come back, I'll be able to catch them on time. Not really sure if I included that clip in this video. I think we'll find out in any moment now actually. Waiting to see the kill. Let's take a look at the kill. 240 million. Well, a cheap one. A very cheap one. And yes, I did include the Dramiel that escaped. It's this Dramiel. Well, they escaped the first time, they did not escape the second time. They tried to burn to the gate, but unfortunately that's not going to work that easily. Especially when I have the turrets with tracking. And this one was also quite cheap. And they had the same build. I think these two ships were in a PvP fleet roaming around. They just came to the wrong gate, as usual. Next target, we have a Hurricane. For this ship I don't have to use my ult, because the Revelation has enough tracking. And as you can see, it does slap the Hurricane now into low armor. Well, now it's into a wreck, so yeah, that escalated pretty quickly. So you can use high angle weapons if you don't have a ult that can slow them down enough for the main turrets, but if you have the ult with the Omega and with the strong webs, then I guess main turrets are the way to go. Now there is a Ferox coming in. The intel said that Ferox is on the way, so waiting for the Ferox to pop in. Once the Ferox pops in, they popped in. Okay, let's quickly engage. That's a very good looking Ferox as well. And Ferox has been destroyed. Okay. Was reading something in the background about a balance test. Not a balance test, my apologies. Balance patch. Well, I guess I'll have to do a balance patch video next. Now, we all know about a Black Ops battleship, but how about a Black Ops Dreadnought? Well, I'm happy to say that our corp is one of the first ones to actually start doing this. We've basically been doing Black Ops Dreadnought since day one of the release, so yeah, it's a very hilarious thing to do. Excellent for a surprise and excellent for surprising a big fleet. It works, it still works, and it's a tactic that you can use fairly well. The only downside is the lock delay and the long lock-on time on smaller targets, but it should not be a big problem. And this Drake did decide to fight with my friend. Well, that's a bad idea, because there was a big boat lurking around, and one slap from the revelation and one slap from the bubble was enough to kill this ship. And well, I'm back in the shadows. That was, that was quick. My job done. Back to being invisible. 337 million. A PvP Drake. That's interesting. Not many of these ships with a PvP build around, but the Drake is actually a pretty solid ship for PvP. Of course, in the right hands. Next target we have one Brutix, also a very good PvP ship that is good in good hands, but unfortunately bad in bad hands, I guess. So that's how it goes in this game. But I guess my intervention here is not needed. My friend does, yeah, my friend did this really well. Time to vanish into the shadows. Positioning it. Okay, well, that did not end well with my throat. Positioning is very important. I don't want to be too close, but not too far from the gate. And this was a very interesting passive build on the Brutix, although it's missing a bunch of not skills, but missing a bunch of the rigs. Next target, we have a Badger too. I love to blow Badgers. Why? Well, because they can drop some very nice stuff. One of the last Badgers that we have destroyed dropped like 5 billion, and one of the last haulers that we killed was a 22 or 28 billion ISK kill. Well, no Tempest for us, I guess. That was unfortunate. And next target, we have a Mauer Interdictor. Well, we are very territorial when it comes to hostile interdictors. Those get destroyed very quickly, and we don't let any of them live. They are primary targets in most cases, because this is our gate, and whoever tries to camp will be met with serious resistance and a serious force. Let's take a look at kill. 1.3 billion. Well, not a bad build, definitely. After all, I expected this ship to be built well, because it's a PvP ship, so they have usually a solid build. And well, that would be it for today. It was a very nice run with all of these ships. Definitely had a lot of fun playing. And well, with that being said, if you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.